Welcome back to English Sprout TV. I'm Emma.
And I'm Alex. Thanks for joining us for another episode.
Today, we're tackling something that confuses almost every English learner at some point: direct speech and indirect speech, or as many of you know it, reported speech.
Oh, this one. Yeah, I remember when I first learned this in school. My teacher just wrote a bunch of rules on the board, and I sat there thinking, why does yesterday suddenly become the day before? And why does I become she? It felt like the sentence was having an identity crisis.
An identity crisis. That's actually a perfect way to describe it. Because when we shift from direct speech to indirect speech, the whole sentence really does change its clothes, so to speak. But here's the good news. Once you understand the logic behind it, it's not scary at all. In fact, it becomes automatic.
Okay, so before we dive into the rules, let's make sure everyone knows what we're talking about. What exactly is direct speech?
Great place to start. Direct speech is when you repeat exactly what someone said. You use their exact words, and in writing, we put those words inside quotation marks.
Right, so if my friend tells me I am hungry, and I want to tell you exactly what she said, I say, she said I am hungry.
Exactly. You're like a human recording device. You're not changing anything. The words inside the quotation marks are identical to what came out of her mouth.
Got it. So direct speech equals exact words. Easy.
But here's the thing. In real life, we don't actually use direct speech that often. In conversation, think about it. If your boss says, I need the report by Friday, and later you're talking to your coworker, you probably don't say, my boss said I need the report by Friday. You'd probably say something like, my boss said he needed the report by Friday.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I would definitely say it that way. I'd change I to he and maybe the tense too.
And that is indirect speech, also called reported speech. You're reporting what someone said, but you're not using their exact words. You're summarizing it, adapting it to your own sentence.
So indirect speech is like translating someone else's words into your own sentence?
Exactly. And because you're putting their words into your sentence, you have to make some grammatical changes. That's where people start to panic. But if you follow the steps one by one, it's very manageable.
Okay, Emma, walk me through it. I'm ready. Let's take a simple sentence and see what happens.
Perfect. Let's start with this direct quote. Imagine your friend Sarah says, I love pizza.
Classic Sarah. Everyone loves pizza.
Classic. Now, you want to tell me what Sarah said. Using indirect speech, you would say Sarah said that she loved pizza.
Wait, she loved pizza? Past tense? But she still loves pizza, right? This isn't something that stopped being true.
Ah, and that is the #1 question learners ask. Yes, Sarah probably still loves pizza, but in traditional reported speech, we usually backshift the tense. Present simple becomes past simple.
Backshift. That's the word my teacher used. It sounds like a car mechanic term.
It does, but all it means is moving the verb one step back in time. Present simple goes to past simple. Present continuous goes to past continuous. Present perfect goes to past perfect, and so on.
Okay, let me test this. If someone says, I am watching a movie, then in reported speech, it becomes, he said he was watching a movie.
Perfect. Present continuous, am watching, backshifts to past continuous, was watching.
And if she says, I have finished my homework, then it becomes, she said she had finished her homework.
Excellent. Present perfect, have finished, becomes past perfect, had finished. You're getting it.
But wait, what about past simple? Can you backshift past simple?
Yes, but this is where it gets a tiny bit trickier. Past simple usually backshifts to past perfect. So if someone says, I visited Paris last year, in reported speech it becomes, she said she had visited Paris the year before.
Had visited. Okay, and I noticed you also changed last year to the year before.
Yes, and that brings us to the second big change. It's not just the verb tense. You also have to adjust time expressions, place words, and pronouns.
Right, because if I am telling the story, then my today might not be the same as the original speaker's today.
Exactly. Let's make a little list here. If the original sentence says today, in reported speech it often becomes that day. Yesterday becomes the day before or the previous day. Tomorrow becomes the next day or the following day. Now becomes then or at that moment. This becomes that. These become those. Here becomes there.
Wow, that's a lot of little words changing.
It is, but think about why. If Sarah said, I'll call you tomorrow on Monday, and I'm telling you about it on Wednesday, I can't say Sarah said she would call me tomorrow because Wednesday's tomorrow is Thursday, but Sarah was talking about Tuesday.
Oh, that makes total sense. So the time expression has to match the perspective of the person reporting it.
Precisely. It's all about perspective, and pronouns work the same way. If Sarah says, I love my dog, and I'm reporting it, Sarah is she and her dog is her dog or his dog, depending on who we're talking about.
So pronouns shift based on who is reporting and who is listening.
Yes. Let's do a full example with everything changing at once. Listen carefully. Direct speech, I will meet you here at 5 p.m. tomorrow, John said to Mary.
Okay, lots of moving parts there.
Now, indirect speech. John told Mary that he would meet her there at 5 p.m. the next day.
Let me check that. I became he, will meet became would meet, you became her, here became there, tomorrow became the next day, and said to became told.
You got every single change. That's exactly how it works.
Wait, you said to became told? Can we talk about reporting verbs for a second? Because I feel like learners get stuck always using said and told.
Oh, this is one of my favorite parts. Yes, say and tell are the most common, but they are definitely not the only ones. And using different reporting verbs makes your English sound so much more natural and sophisticated.
Give me some examples.
Sure. If someone is giving advice, you can use advised. For example, you should see a doctor, she said, to she advised me to see a doctor.
Oh, that's nice. It's more specific than just she said.
Exactly. If someone is making a suggestion, use suggested. Let's go to the beach, he said, to he suggested going to the beach. Notice the gerund after suggested.
Right, suggested going, not suggested to go. That's a common mistake.
Very common. If someone is making an offer, use offered. I can help you with your bags, she said, to she offered to help me with my bags.
And if someone is giving an order?
Then you can use ordered, told, or asked. Sit down, the teacher said, to the teacher told the students to sit down, or the teacher ordered them to sit down.
What about if someone is just admitting something?
Great one. Use admitted. Yes, I broke the window, he said, to he admitted that he had broken the window, or he admitted to breaking the window.
I love these. They add so much flavor. What about promised?
Yes, I'll be back by 6, he said, to he promised to be back by 6, or he promised that he would be back by 6.
And reminded?
Don't forget to lock the door, she said, to she reminded me to lock the door.
Okay, so the takeaway is don't be boring with said and told. Match the reporting verb to the intention.
Exactly. Now let's talk about questions, because reporting questions is a little different from reporting statements.
Oh, right. If someone asks, where do you live? You can't say, he asked me, where do I live? That sounds wrong.
Very wrong. When you report a question, it stops being a question. It becomes a statement inside the reported sentence. So, where do you live becomes, he asked me where I lived.
The word order changes to normal statement order, subject plus verb.
Yes. And if it's a yes-no question, you need to use if or whether. Do you like coffee? To she asked me if I liked coffee, or she asked me whether I liked coffee.
Weather feels a bit more formal.
It is slightly more formal, but both are correct. And here's a little tip. If you want to sound extra natural, you can say, she asked me whether or not I liked coffee. But if, it's perfectly fine for everyday conversation.
What about question words, like why, when, how?
Those stay. Why are you late? He asked me why I was late. When will the train arrive? She asked when the train would arrive. Again, normal word order, no auxiliary verb at the beginning.
Got it. Questions lose their question marks and their question grammar. They turn into statements with if, whether, or a question word.
Perfect summary. Now, what about commands and requests? We touched on this with told and asked, but let's go deeper.
Okay, so if my mom says clean your room and I tell my friend about it, I say my mom told me to clean my room.
Yes, the structure is subject plus reporting verb plus object plus to infinitive. She told me to wait. He asked her to leave. They warned us not to touch anything.
Wait, warned us not to touch. So for negative commands, it's not to plus the verb?
Exactly. Don't be late, she said. She told me not to be late. You can also say she warned me not to be late.
And what if it's a more polite request, like, could you pass the salt?
Then asked works perfectly. He asked me to pass the salt. Or if you want to emphasize the politeness, he asked me if I could pass the salt.
Oh, that's interesting. So you can keep the modal could in some cases.
Yes, and this is a really important point that a lot of textbooks skip. Sometimes you do not need to backshift the tense. If the situation is still true, or if it's a universal truth, you can keep the original tense.
Wait, really? So I don't always have to backshift?
No, not always. Let's say someone told you the sun rises in the east. If you report that, you can say, he said that the sun rises in the east. You don't need to say rose because the sun still rises in the east. It's a fact.
Oh, that makes so much sense. What about something like, I live in London? If the person still lives there, can I say, she said she lives in London?
Yes, absolutely. Both are acceptable. She said she lives in London emphasizes that it's still true. She said she lived in London is also correct, especially if you're following the backshifting rule strictly. In modern English, keeping the present tense when the situation is current is very common and natural.
That's a huge relief. I think a lot of learners stress about backshifting every single verb, even when it feels weird.
They do, and the truth is, native speakers are quite flexible with this. If the time gap is small, like someone said something 5 minutes ago, we often don't backshift at all. He said he's tired is perfectly natural if he's still tired right now.
Okay, so context matters, time gap matters, and whether something is still true matters.
Exactly. Now let's look at some common mistakes so our viewers know what to watch out for.
Yes, please. Mistakes are my favorite part because I make all of them.
Mistake number 1, forgetting to change the pronoun. Someone says, I am tired, and the learner reports, she said that I am tired. But wait, if you say I am tired, that means you are tired, not the original speaker.
Right. It should be she said that she was tired.
Mistake number 2, keeping the question word order. He asked me, where was the station? No. It should be, he asked me where the station was.
That one is super common. I hear it all the time.
Mistake number 3, using said with an indirect object without to. You can say, he said that he was busy. You can say, he said to me that he was busy. But you cannot say, he said me that he was busy.
Oh, that's a big one. Said me is wrong. You need told me or said to me.
Exactly. Tell needs an object. Say does not, unless you add to.
What about mistake number 4?
Mixing up suggest and suggest to. You don't say he suggested me to go. You say he suggested that I go or he suggested going.
Yes, I remember struggling with that. Suggest just doesn't work with the person as the direct object in that structure.
And mistake number 5, forgetting that some reporting verbs need a specific structure. For example, agree takes the infinitive. Yes, I'll help, she said. She agreed to help. You can't say she agreed helping.
Right. Each verb has its own grammar pattern.
So the best advice is when you learn a new reporting verb, learn it with its structure. Don't just memorize the word, memorize the collocation.
That's solid advice. Okay, Emma, I think we've covered a lot of rules. Can we do some practice now? I want to see this in action.
Absolutely. Let's do 5 sentences together. I'll give you the direct speech and you try to convert it to indirect speech. Ready?
Ready, hit me.
Number 1, direct speech, I can't find my keys, Tom said.
Okay, reporting verb is said. Subject is Tom. Pronoun I becomes he. Can't becomes couldn't. So
Tom said that he couldn't find his keys.
Perfect. You even changed my to his. Excellent.
Thanks.
Number 2. Are you coming to the party? Maria asked.
Yes, no question. So I need if. Word order becomes statement order. Maria asked if I was coming to the party.
Beautiful. Number 3. Don't touch my phone, she said to him.
Command, negative. Reporting verb, told or warned. Let's go with told. She told him not to touch her phone.
Yes, and notice you changed my to her. Perfect.
I'm getting the hang of this.
Number 4. Let's order pizza for dinner, my brother suggested.
Suggested needs a gerund, so my brother suggested ordering pizza for dinner.
Exactly right. And number 5, a tricky one. I have never been to Japan, she said.
Present perfect have never been, back has to past perfect had never been. So she said that she had never been to Japan.
Alex, that was flawless. You just proved that reported speech is not a monster, it's just a set of habits.
Honestly, doing it step by step makes it feel so much easier than when I first saw it in a textbook. Breaking it into pronouns, tenses, time words, and reporting verbs, that's the secret.
That is the secret. And here's one more secret before we wrap up. The best way to master reported speech is not to memorize charts, it's to read and listen to native content and notice how people report what others said. Pay attention in podcasts and news articles and TV shows. You'll start to hear, he claims that, and she insisted that, and they denied that everywhere.
Oh, denied, that's a good one. I didn't steal the money, he said. He denied stealing the money.
Yes, or he denied that he had stolen the money. Both work. And insisted is great too. You must believe me, she said. She insisted that I believe her.
These verbs add so much personality to the sentence. Instead of just said, you get the emotion and the intention.
Exactly. And at the B1, B2 level, that's what separates a good speaker from a great speaker. You're not just communicating information, you're communicating nuance.
Okay, let me do one more full example to really nail this down. Let's say my boss gave me a whole speech this morning. He said, I am very disappointed with the sales numbers this quarter. We need to work harder as a team. Please send me the updated report by Friday. Also, will you be able to attend the meeting next week?
Wow, that's a lot. 4 different types of sentences in one. A statement, another statement, a command, and a question.
Yeah, he was on a roll, so here's my reported version. My boss said that he was very disappointed with the sales numbers that quarter. He added that we needed to work harder as a team. He told me to send him the updated report by Friday. He also asked me if I would be able to attend the meeting the following week.
Alex, he added that. That's such a natural touch. And you changed this quarter to that quarter. By Friday stayed because it's a specific deadline, and next week became the following week. You even used asked me if I would be able to instead of just asked if I could. That's advanced level reporting.
I guess all those rules actually stuck in my head.
They did, and they'll stick in our viewers' heads too as long as they practice. So let's give them a little homework.
Oh, homework, everyone's favorite.
In the comments below, I want you to do this. Think of the last conversation you had today. It can be with a friend, a family member, a coworker, anyone. Now report one thing they said using indirect speech. Write it in the comments, and Alex and I will check as many as we can.
Yes, and to make it fun, try to use a reporting verb other than said or told. Use mentioned, complained, promised, advised, wondered, anything that fits the feeling of what they said.
Great idea. And if you want more practice, we've put together a free PDF worksheet with 20 direct to indirect speech exercises. The link is in the description box below. You can download it, print it, and work through it at your own pace.
Also, if you enjoyed this episode and you want more English made simple, hit that like button. It really helps us reach more English learners around the world.
And if you're new here, welcome to English Sprout TV. We post new episodes every week to help you speak English with confidence and clarity. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a lesson.
Thank you so much for listening today. Keep practicing, keep making mistakes, and keep growing. That's what English Spout TV is all about.
See you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye.